My job is all about people and service. Every day when I come to work, it's an opportunity to serve the people that I work with in the department and then to guide the department in serving the community of UT Southwestern. My colleagues would describe me as dedicated. I think they understand that I am really dyed-in-the-wool UT Southwestern. Aside from being here 25 years, I met my wife at UT Southwestern. 4 generations of my family have received their health care from UT Southwestern. I think that I want to be remembered or to leave a legacy of building a police department that was like no other, that was focused on the protection of people, that had an attitude of service, of problem solving, and not so much one of enforcement. We have hearts of servants and hearts of protectors, and we take that very seriously.
The thing I love most about transplantation is that one act can help so many people. The act of one donation by a donor or a family member can touch so many people. The obvious is the recipients who get either sight restoration through a cornea transplant or a bone or a tendon to help them return to an active lifestyle. But it also helps the donor family because it gives them something a positive to focus on in an otherwise very hard time in their life. It's a ripple effect, and it's really inspiring to be part of that effect. When I was promoted to the Director of Transplant Services Center, it was something that I had set my sights on when I started, and it took me 18 years to get there, but it was definitely the highlight of my career. The importance of consistency and coming to work every day, giving it my all, and doing the best job that I can for our donor families and our recipients.
The last 30 years, I would say, has been amazing. Each day is different. We respond to emergency situations. We take every situation with importance. Our own carpenter shop in facilities, we made our own hand sanitizer stations to put out, and it was over 1,000 stands that we had to put out around campus to make sure everybody was safe. So they describes me as Superman. I'm very quiet, but gets the job done. Feeling like a family, that's what kept me coming to work every day. Just being around a great group of people who want to teach you no matter how long you've been there. It's still a learning experience.
UT Southwestern will give me an opportunity to grow. I just love it. Every day is a challenge. I'm very proud that I make an effort in trying to keep this facility up and running at all times, in all kinds of weather. And when the men get together and we figure out how to put the machinery back together, we learn a lot from each other. Yellowstone. I want to go to Yellowstone. Enjoyment, fast. I grew a lot. I grew as an individual, as a man. I grew as a professional.
Wow, I started as an admin and just worked my way up all the way to a senior education coordinator. I love working with the students. Granted, we only get to see them for a few years. It's a 30-month program. I work with them pretty much right at the very beginning when they send their applications. So I get to know them very personally through their applications, and then to see them graduate just warms my heart. My colleagues would describe me as a hard worker, have attention to detail, work really good with others, including, other staff, faculty, and especially with the students. I really want to be remembered as the person that is the go-to and the person that is always willing to help.
Be kind to people and they will be kind to you, especially to the patients. The biggest one, I think, would be one of the people I worked with when I was in education. She's come to be a very good friend to me. She's helped me through a lot of family issues and stuff, so I don't know what I would have done without her support. I was working on the floor, and one day my nurse manager at the time handed me a letter. She said, "You got this in the mail." And I said, "I got something in the mail here?" And she said yes, and so I opened it, and it was a letter from a patient who was thanking me for taking care of him. What I do makes a difference, and they, got better because of it. I hope that I have inspired them to stay at UT Southwestern and take chances and just to do your best and just think of the patient first.